It began with the sound of a bell, soft, distant, almost hesitant. As the glass doors of a luxury store swung open and a man stepped in. His jacket was frayed at the sleeve, the color faded from too many winters. His shoes were cracked from long walks to work. Beside him, a little girl held his hand, her small fingers poking through gloves that no longer fit. "Let's just look for something small," he whispered. "It's your birthday after all." The store glittered with light. Chandeliers glowed like captured stars, and marble floors reflected the shine of diamond cases. Customers moved gracefully, wrapped in designer coats, their laughter low and effortless. But when the man and his daughter entered, the room shifted. A saleswoman behind the counter tilted her head. Another leaned in, smirking. Their eyes flicked from his worn shoes to the girl's scuffed ones. "Sir, maybe you're lost," one of them said loudly enough for everyone to hear. A few quiet laughs echoed from the back. The man froze, his cheeks burned. Still, he straightened his posture, pretending not to hear. The little girl tugged his sleeve, her brows knitted. "Daddy, why are they laughing at us?" He knelt down, brushing the hair from her face. "It's okay, sweetheart," he whispered. "Sometimes people don't understand us, but that doesn't mean we don't belong." Before he could stand again, another voice sliced through the air. "Sir, if you can't afford to shop here, please leave. You're making the other customers uncomfortable." The saleswoman's tone was sharp, mocking. The man swallowed, his throat tight. He forced a calm smile for his daughter's sake. "We'll just be quick," he said, though his voice wavered. She looked up at him, eyes wet. "It's okay, Daddy. We can go. I don't want them to be mad at you." Her words hit him harder than the insults. He could handle shame, but not her hurt. Behind the counter, one clerk whispered, "Should we call security before this gets embarrassing?" Every second dragged. The man's heart pounded. He wanted to leave, to disappear, but he didn't move. Not today. Not on her birthday. Because today, his daughter deserved to dream. If the story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Loom. The air thickened with quiet judgment. The girl pressed her face into her father's coat, whispering, "Let's go, please." And then, "What's going on here?" A deep, steady voice carried across the showroom. The laughter died. The employees stiffened. A tall man in a dark suit strode forward, his shoes tapping sharply against the marble. His presence silenced the room. It was the store owner. One of the saleswomen rushed toward him, pointing at the father. "Sir, this man doesn't belong here. He's disturbing the customers." The owner stopped. His gaze fell on the man and the little girl. For a long moment, he said nothing. His eyes narrowed slightly. Then, a strange recognition crossed his face. He whispered, almost to himself, "It can't be." The room waited. The man stood still, clutching his daughter's hand, unsure what was coming next. But the owner's thoughts had already gone back, years back, to a cold night when he had been the one wandering, hungry and hopeless, with no money in his pocket and no one to call, and a stranger. A man with the same eyes now staring at him had stopped to help, gave him food, a blanket, hope. Now, in the glittering store built from that second chance, the same man stood before him. Poor again, but proud. The owner blinked hard, his voice breaking the silence. "Enough!" The saleswoman froze mid-sentence. Everyone turned. He walked straight to the single dad and stopped just a foot away. His voice softened. "Do you know who this man is?" No one answered. "Years ago," he said, his voice steady now, "I had nothing. I was lost, broke, and stranded. This man helped me when no one else did. He gave me food and a reason to try again. Without him, I wouldn't be standing here today." Gasps rippled through the crowd. The sales staff stared at the floor, their faces pale. The father's eyes widened. "You remember me?" he said quietly. The owner nodded. I never forgot. He turned to the employees. You mocked the very man who once saved me. Shame on all of you. No one spoke. The chandeliers above seemed dimmer, the silence louder. The little girl peeked out from behind her father's coat, still unsure but no longer scared. The owner placed a hand on the father's shoulder. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You belong here more than anyone. The man's eyes glistened. I didn't mean to cause trouble, he murmured. I just wanted to buy a small gift for her birthday. The little girl tugged his sleeve. Daddy, we don't need anything. I just want you. The owner knelt beside her, his tone gentle. Sweetheart, your father is a hero, and heroes deserve joy. He turned to his staff. Let her choose anything she wants. No charge. Gasps again. One employee's lips parted in disbelief. Anything, sir? Anything? The owner said firmly. The little girl looked around the room, hesitant. Her eyes passed the glittering diamond necklaces, the golden bracelets, the silk displays. Then she stopped. On a small corner table sat a simple silver locket. She picked it up carefully, holding it close to her chest. This one, she whispered. It's enough. The store went quiet. Even the air seemed to pause. The owner smiled. You have your father's heart, he said softly. Tears filled the man's eyes. Thank you for remembering me. He bowed his head, his voice breaking. For the first time in years, he felt seen. Not pitied, not dismissed, but respected. The daughter fastened the locket around her neck. She looked up at him, her small voice steady. I love you, Daddy. And in that moment, he stood taller. The weight of years seemed to lift. Before you go, wait till you hear what happens next. Stay with you as they walked toward the door. The same shoppers who had mocked them now stepped aside in silence. Heads lowered. Eyes followed. The father didn't rush. He walked slowly, proudly, his daughter's hand in his. The owner followed them out, stopping just before the exit. He placed a hand on the man's shoulder once more. You saved me when I had nothing, he said quietly. Today, I returned only a fraction of that kindness. Never forget, you and your daughter deserve every happiness this world can give. The man tried to speak but could only nod. His voice caught in his throat. The little girl turned to the owner and said, Thank you, sir. And just like that, they were gone. Two silhouettes stepping out into the winter light, holding each other's hands behind them. The staff stood still, their lesson carved deep. That judgment can wound deeper than poverty, and compassion costs nothing, but changes everything outside. The cold wind swept through the street. The little girl looked up at her father. Daddy, she said, touching the locket. This is my favorite birthday ever. He smiled, blinking away tears. Mine too, sweetheart. They walked on, side by side, the silver locket catching the sunlight like a quiet promise. Proof that kindness never disappears. It only waits for its moment to return. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Loom, where we bring you real stories of kindness, courage, and second chances.